Hi there, it's Connie-Rae. Welcome to ConnieRae'sCraftRoom.com. Today's crafty share is going to be this gorgeous Christmas card, which is silver and white, basically, as you can see. And it's using a stamp set called Snow is Glistening. And this is a part of a promotional offer that's available from Stampin' Up until the end of November. So basically what you get is with the set, I will include the link down the bottom of this tutorial so that you can have a look at the items that are available with this collection. But basically it's the Snowflake Showtime items. I'm trying to think of the right word. And you could get snowflake trinkets, which are these tiny little snowflake embellishments. You can get white velveteen paper, which are paper sheets. You can get Snowfall Thinlet die set, which has got 20 pieces of snowflake dies in it. It's absolutely beautiful. You can also get Snow is Glistening, which is this stamp set here that I have used. And there's another stamp set which is called Happiness Surrounds. And I will include all of those in the link down the bottom, but they're only available, they're just an exclusive offer, and they're only available to the end of November 2018. So you've got a few weeks where you can go in and purchase these if you would like to make this particular item. Okay, so I will show you how I've made this. I will try and bring it up a little bit. It's got silver embossing and some silver, look, it's just covered in silver, isn't it really? It's just silver. Silver embossing, but I'll show you exactly what I have done to achieve this look. The other thing that you may be interested in is in the clearance rack there is some I think it's called, yeah, Dazzling Diamonds, and this is what I have. I've had these for ages and now it's in this clearance rack, so I guess they're not going to have it anymore. But it's this gorgeous, they're kind of like, it's not quite like glitter, it's a little bit thicker than glitter. It's like charades of silver, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I've actually used it. You can use this on embossing, you can use this on glue, you can use it on, what's the word? Tear and tape. You can use it, what else can you use it on? Anything that's got a glue base, you can actually glue it to, and then this just sticks to it automatically and dries and sets. So I'll show you how I've used this as well. And this is in the clearance rack, and it's half price. So if you want some, grab some. It's just beautiful. And I only ever really use it around Christmas time. So, but you know, bling is bling. I love bling. So, the other thing that I've used is this embossing folder, the Snow embossing folder, which I've just run through the top of the card. And here you'll see, if you can see on that edge there, I've just run the top through the embossing, through our Big Shot, and just on the top half of the card. And I'm going to stamp probably about here downwards for the actual stamp, so it's going to be a little bit up there. But I've done that first, so that I can then just go ahead and stamp. So that's one of the things I have done. So we're going to be using some Whisper White, thick Whisper White, because I use nothing else, thick Whisper White cardstock. And the size of that is 11 inches by 4 1/4. Is it? Yeah, 4 1/4. Scored at 5 1/2. I don't think I've got my camera positioned very well there. Let me see. Okay. Just try and get you back into... Oh, my camera doesn't want to talk to me. Okay. Let me see if I can... Yep. Okay, I think that's a bit better. Okay, so you can see my sizing on the inches, but maybe not. Anyway, it's 11 inches by 4 1/4 and scored at 5 1/2, which is in half. So that's your base of your card. And then your mat, which we're going to do our stamping and our creative stuff on, is 5 1/4 by 4. So now I've already started doing some things, so I will bring those over across to you now. So we're going to be doing some stamping and embossing, and I have my Stamparatus here, and I've got my piece of cardstock down ready to go. Now I'm just going to use my embossing buddy because I'm going to be doing some embossing, and this is essential when you're embossing, is to use this and go over the cardstock to get rid of all the you know, you get little bitty grits and stuff and it gets stuck in your embossing powder. So you don't want anything, you want it nice and smooth. So you only have to do that once. I'm going to use some Versamark and I'm going to go over the stamp with some Versamark because when you're embossing, Versamark is possibly the best option for you here with this kind of embossing. You can use coloured and things like that, but for now we're just going to use Versamark over the stamp, which is currently set up in alignment. And just make sure that that is still in alignment, because you know what happens when you go away. People move things. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so I'm just going to put some pressure on that and make sure I get a really good image print. I know it's a bit hard to see because my ring light is actually flashing straight up and down on the top of it. Okay, hopefully there won't be a problem for us. And I'll just tip that up to make sure you won't be able to see it. Gee, I can hardly see it. So let me see. I'm pretty sure that I've got a good print there. That is going to have, yep, that looks good. And the other thing I'm going to do, there's a little snowflake in this Snow is Glistening set. So we're using this, sorry, the Christmas tree there. We're also going to be using this tiny little snowflake here, and for you is the sentiment. So I'm just going to get my tiny little snowflake out, and I'm just going to strategically pop it in a few places so that I can, when I emboss, I will have some embossing powder on those as well. Don't want too many. There we go, that looks good. Okay, so I'll just pop this out of the way and clean that off later. I'm going to be using some scrap paper and some embossing powder to go over the top of my Versamark. And I'm using silver, as I suggested. You can use another colour if you have another colour. It doesn't really matter, it's up to you what colour you have your tree. Okay, I'm just going to push it all around the area that I've embossed on. Nearly out of silver. I'm going to have to get some more because I do use a lot of silver, especially at Christmas time. As you can see, I have got my image there. Just going to make sure I get all the, give it a good flick and gets rid of all the excess that you don't need before you emboss. And as you can see, the image is there, nice and clear. So I will just pop this. While you're doing this, pop your heat gun on and let it start to warm up, because you want to bring it to your image hot. You don't want to take it onto your image and heat it up while it's trying to emboss, because it won't work and it warps your paper and it ends up in a big mess. So do give it a bit of a practice, but heat your gun up while you're cleaning up your mess and getting that out of the way on for your next step, and it just makes life a little bit easier when it comes to embossing. So get that out of the way. And I hate that gritty feeling, as I often say in just about every video that I do. So while that's still heating up, make it nice and hot. Get a brush if you have one and just brush away any excess that you might find on your image that you've done, so that it's nice and clean when you emboss it and you've got no straggly bits left over. Okay, I think the gun's hot, so I'm just going to bring it off the paper and I'm just going to emboss it. Almost there. Just doing my little snowflakes, and we're done. Okay, so there is the embossing. I'll bring it up close for you to see, and you'll see how well it works if you just follow those few techniques in terms of using your embossing buddy, using Versamark ink, making sure the ink pad is nice and it's got plenty of ink on it, not too much because you can overdo it. Versamark, and your, what was that? Oh, the heat gun is hot before it comes to the paper, because that way you'll get this nice raised embossed look. As you can see, it's very pretty. Okay, so that being said, all done. Just get my brushes out of the way. I make such a mess when I'm crafting. Okay, now what else do I want to do? I might just do the sentiment as well, because the gun's hot, and that way all my embossing is out of the way. I've used the sentiment here for you. So you want probably about a 2-inch piece of cardstock. Just line it up on your grid mat. You want your embossing buddy, again, just to be sure your embossing comes out well. And just line it up. Hope my head's not in the way. Probably is, but that's okay. Not sure if that came out straight. I might just do that again on the other side, just to be sure. That's better. Okay. And again, I'm just going to bring in my silver embossing powder. We don't need the piece of spare paper at this stage to do this one. We can just do it like this. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I just forgot to use my embossing buddy on this side. I used it on the other side, but not this side. Anyway, not too bad though. Just make sure I've got all the extra bits off. When it's a big image, it's very important. Sometimes you can get away with it with these little ones, which I've just done. Just managed to get away with it. And I've stuck my finger in it as well, so that makes me happy. All right, just there we go. Should be good. Okay, so we've got that out of the way now, and I'll just put my gun's still hot from the previous session, so it's just going to take a couple of seconds to do this one, and then all of our embossing is done. Okay, sorry guys, I logged myself out of my computer just as I started to do the embossing. So I'm going to quickly emboss this sentiment. There you go. Perfect. Goodness me. Okay. Alright, so we have got that and that. Now I did actually use a pencil, and I'm just going to, I think, trim that down a bit. I'll leave it, I think, for now. Okay, now the second thing that I am going to do is going to be this glitter technique that I've used here. I'll fix this little thing up later, I think. Might be able to do it now. What I have done is just grabbed a pencil and put my sentiment in line with my tree, and then I have just, by my eye, just done a little pencil line down each side, just like that. So I will cut it and it will fit into the actual tree, but I'll do that later. So for now we want to put in some of the dazzling diamonds. Now you can use your Tombow for this. I use Tombow, and I also use medium matte. Actually, I might use the matte because it's got a nice fine thing on it here, but I have used this and it works. It's Tombow and it works just fine, so it's entirely up to you which one you use. And basically what I've done is just gone down the sides, very kind of fine line, got no muscles. Okay, doesn't want to cooperate. I'll just put a pin in it. Try again. There we go. So just on the outside of the tree, I am just putting a nice fine line that we're going to put our dazzling diamonds on. And we're going to stick to get on there. And it comes up really nice. You can do this with glitter. It doesn't have to be dazzling diamonds. It can be glitter. It can be anything that shines that you like using. It's just that I had some here and I noticed it was in the clearance rack, and I thought to myself, oh no. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to use this because it is really pretty. Okay, and then here I have just gone and put some here, and I've also put some just to make it look like kind of like a hill, if that makes sense, just like you're drawing a little bit of a hill. And the dazzling diamonds are going to just stick to it really well. Because while we started that, it started to dry off, and it's perfect because it will just attach itself really well to it. So it's a lot of fun. Very messy and fun. Okay, so we're just going to put some around the tree, but all you have to do is just sprinkle it and it will stick to the glue. That's it. You don't have to do anything more than that. And it will dry. Just make sure you put plenty on, and you do get it everywhere, which is half the fun. It is messy, but it's fun. It looks really good, and it's so easy to use. As I said, you can use your tear and tape, so you can put a bit of tear and tape down on the bottom or the top or wherever, and you just peel off the tear and tape and then just pop this in, and it will stick onto it as well. So, like I said, it's fun. Pretty sure that's okay now. It's covered. And it will shake off. So if you pop that aside to dry, you'll find that, but it doesn't even need much time to dry because it sets just the same as it does normal drying time for any glue. Like your Tombow sets really quickly, so there's nothing in that sense to worry about. Okay, so I'm just going to tidy up all the loose bits that I've got. hanging around. So as you can see, I'll just hold it for you. You can see there you've got the dazzling diamonds charades. Looks good, doesn't it? It's so cute. Okay, so for the sentiment, we're just going to snip off where our pencil was. And pop it somewhere in about just where it fits in between. So probably about there for this particular sentiment. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of it. I just flipped it out of the way. I put 3. Just the 3 small dimensionals for this, I think would be fine. Depends how much you want to pop it up. Okay, so I want it in between my word, in between my tree. I don't want it hanging outside the tree, so if you wanted to, you can put some dazzling diamonds around the edges of this too. That'd be fun. There we go. That's that. And last but not least, we're going to put some embellishments. Oh, came flying off then. I'm just going to put a large embellishment there and a small one. I'll just move that one, I think. There we go. And I just want to put one on the tree about here. Should I use the last small one? Yeah, I might use the last small one. Oh, I could put it here, couldn't I? No, I think I'll put it on the snowflake. It kind of looks really nice on the snowflake. There we go. It's so pretty. Okay, so then I've used some thick foam tape on the back of the card, which I can't even remember where I got it from, to tell you the truth. I've just picked it up at a craft store. Will that fit on the back there like that? Yeah, that's it. Oh, it's very sticky, that's for sure. That one, and oh, definitely sticks to my fingers. And that one. And that gives it some nice dimension. Ooh. And the last one. Ooh. Don't you love it how you stick to everything? And as you can see, some of the things have come off, but they're fine. The glue is setting and it's looking kind of good. All right, so I've got my card and I'm just going to pop that on straight, hopefully, because most of my followers who know me know that I never get anything straight. Well, I do on camera, but I have a bit of a tough time doing it. Oh, I can't even use that. Okay. Does that look straight, guys? I hope so. There we go. Okay, I think it looks straight. Okay, so there we go. I have done the tutorial. Yes. Phew. Okay, so that's the card. It is quite nice and it is so pretty. I think it is pretty anyway. So I have got 2 cards now. to send out, and one that's half made. So there you go. That's it. Aren't they gorgeous? I think they're beautiful. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you find it easy to do. It's not hard to repeat. You can always pause and come back and do it step by step. I will include the link down the bottom to these products that you can get that I've discussed today, as well as you can go straight into the shop and you can purchase them online following that link. That's all you have to do. You don't have to join or anything like that unless you want to. You can purchase any of these products and any Stamping Up products through these links on my store there, 24 hours a day, from anybody, anywhere in Australia. Doesn't matter where you're located. So please do like, share, subscribe. Give me some thumbs up and some comments. I'm happy to hear your comments if you like them. I get lots of comments saying how much people like the tutorials. So thank you very much for stopping by. I hope to see you soon with a new tutorial. Actually, I've got some really cute little items I'm going to make up into something soon. So yeah, I want to get that underway. So thanks again for joining me. Take care, and I will see you next time in Connie-Rae's Craft Room. Ciao for now.